Oh, that's why Wall Street uh hits record high and was with Nvidia becoming the first company. Wow. The first company to surpass 5 trillion valuation awaited and unexpected. Okay, this makes sense. Of course Nvidia is gonna go crazy. They're making AI chips, of course. Okay, so just using common sense. If we just use basic, regular kindergarten, not kindergarten, kindergarten knowledge, right? Basic, regular kindergarten knowledge. The Fed is widely expected to trim rates by a quarter of a percentage point later in the day, with traders expecting another same exact thing that happened last time, right? After nearly a month. Because remember, last time there was no government shutdown. In September, the government didn't shut down. The government was still up and running. And Nas shot up crazy after what it did, FOMC, blah, 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 blah. Same rate cut, right? NVIDIA, which is this right here, boosts Nas 100. Because remember, Nas 100 is different individual companies. Just it's a basket of companies. If you guys don't know like how indices work, let's go to Google for a second. Is a stock market index that represents 100 of the largest non-financial companies listed on the Nasdaq stock market. Boom. So we could just do this because this is a very, very simple example. So, example of companies in the Nasdaq's 100. This is actually a good teaching lesson. I've never learned about this in any course. Doing my own research, right? Examples, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia. This is a big one right here. Think about it. And I want you guys to, I'm about to put you guys on some game. I'm about to give you guys a gym. I'm about to give you guys a gym so you guys, because this will help you out, not just right now, but this gym is going to help you out in the long term when it comes to you trading. And this is going to help you have a little bit clarity in your mind. So I want you guys to, when I'm reading these companies' names, I want you guys to think of what is going on in the world and the potential that these companies have. So, meaning if these companies are being boosted and in the longer term, these companies are going to be boosted, what does that mean towards indices or Nas 100, for example? But basically, stocks would be like the SPX would be the same thing and US 30, right? What does it mean for the long term if these are going boosted? That means Nas will go up, right? So let's just read a couple of these. Microsoft, Apple. Let's see what's going on with Apple. What is Apple adapting? Apple has what is it? What is that AI? What is it called with Apple? Apple Intelligence? Apple Intelligence? I think that's what it's called, right? The new AI thing that Apple has, right? Apple Intelligence or whatever. Apple Intelligence. Apple is incorporating AI. Okay. Let me add this right here. So we know AI is a big thing. What is the market cap of AI? So we know that the market cap as of late 2025, AI players like Microsoft around 3.8 trillion. No, what did I looked up for? Yeah, while the overall market is expected to grow from over 193 billion in 2024 to 1.7 trillion in 2023. Major companies in AI, we put this together. We put, hey, it's clicking. Major companies in AI. What are the major companies? Microsoft is a major company. Google is a major company. Amazon, Facebook, Nvidia. Okay. So what are the main companies in the Nasdaq 100? Microsoft, a major company with AI. Apple Intelligence. Nvidia, we just see that they're the first people to hit the what market cap right here. Let's go back to this. Uh, with Nvidia becoming the first company to surpass 5 trillion valuation. Why is this? Storming past the milestone after CEO, whoever this is, announced 500 billion an AI chip orders and plans to build seven supercomputers for the US government. Is it starting to click? Amazon. We just talked about how Amazon is replacing hundreds and thousands of their workers with robots. Broadcom, I don't know what this is. Google, you got the didn't Google, isn't Google the one that does Waymo? Who does Google, or is it something else? Um, let's see. Is it Waymo? Waymo? Is that what it is? Who came? Yep. Google. Yeah, it was Google, right? Yeah, Google. Yeah, no, yeah, Google. So Google, they're adapting. They got like Waymo and all this type of stuff. Google, every time you open up Google, I think I turned mine off, so it's not up here. I think I said no. Like right here. First thing that you go to Google, what do you have right here? AI mode. AI mode. AI mode. Right? So we got Google, Meta platforms. What did we just see over here? Meta platforms like what? Facebook, you got the whole Meta glasses, they got the Meta technology, Meta world, Meta this, Meta that, Meta AI, Meta AI. Tesla, come on now. Tesla is nothing but AI. Tesla's Elon Musk. What is Elon Musk trying to do? He's trying to put a chip in everybody's forehead. They're already testing people. Tesla has the AI cars. Tesla has the AI robots. Tesla has the AI, everything AI. Netflix, I've actually been seeing a lot of people been ditching Netflix, so I wouldn't necessarily say anything about like Netflix. I don't know Netflix do anything with AI, right? But Adobe, this is very big. This is very, very big because I edit content and I use Adobe. I use After Effects. I use Premiere Pro. DaVinci Resolve is not Adobe, but you got Photoshop. You got Lightroom, all this type of stuff like that. What they've incorporated in their platforms is like AI everything. You can use AIs to do the beats for you. You can use AIs to make effects. You can use AIs to do this, AIs to do that. You could basically use AI to make your whole edit for you. It makes your editing process a lot quicker, and that seems so much more appealing to people. Think about it. Instead of me having to go through and cut up this clip X, Y, and Z, I can just use this AI feature, and what it's going to do is make my process a little bit quicker. So what does that mean? I'm able to produce more work in a quicker amount of time. And what does that mean for me as a person? I'm able to have more clients. I'm able to get more clientels. And what does that in return do for me? Makes me more money. So that's so appealing to a lot of people. And this is what's going to happen. Like, this is the agenda. They're literally pushing this out. Like, I'm just showing you guys the truth. So a lot of people are going to gravitate towards this. And like to each his own. If everybody want to do that and make it money, you do you. I don't really care. I'm just showing what's going on and how the Bible prophecy is playing out. So a lot of people are going to be relying on the AI, and that's going to make them more money. This is why, and this shows what I'm telling you, this is just with Adobe. And what I'm saying, this will make it make more sense on how the AI market value is going up so much more. That's just off of Adobe. You can have more clientele, you can make more money, you can produce more X, Y, and Z. AIs can make your own like thumbnail. If you're a thumbnail designer, instead of you having to go into Photoshop, this, you can have AI do maybe 70% of the work and you do the other 30%. Guess what? Now you as a thumbnail designer, instead of having maybe 10 clients in a week, you can have 50 clients in a week or even more. If you really decide to lock in going crazy, you can go from 10 clients to 100 clients in a week. Boom, now your pockets is so much bigger from that. And guess what? People are going to gravitate towards that. That's just with Adobe. Intel, I don't know what this is. Qualcomm, Pato, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what this is. Pepsi, these are like other divisions. But we went over like the main ones, right? The main top dog companies, right? So, and the reason why I say that, when you correlate all of this, and like I said, think about these companies and think about all of this because this is all new. not necessarily new, but this is the beginning stages of it. I'm just the way that I'm making it seem, I'm just bringing it to the forefront now. This isn't something that's popularly talked about. More people are waking up, but this isn't something that's popularly talked about now because they're slowly pushing out this agenda. They're slowly pushing these things out. This is just the beginning stages of it. So when we understand that these are the beginning stages of it, and we know that within the next year, 2, 3 years, these AI stuff is going to be completely replaced. Like Apple, we already see what's going on with them. Like they're completely everything. Microsoft does, Nvidia, we just see what they had. They're in the form, they're building. Think about it right here. Uh, he announced this meaning he announced 500 billion AI chip orders and plans to build seven supercomputers. So I mean it hasn't been built yet. Imagine once it's built, what it's going to be able to do. Imagine how much that stock is going to increase once it's built. If it's supercomputers for the US and they're using AIs, imagine how that's going to help out these other companies like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, to help them push out their AI stuff a lot more. So if you see that in the long term, what does that mean for Nas in the long term? What does that mean for the indices in the long term? Where is price heading? Obviously not down. Longer term, price is going to be heading up, which it has been doing recently, constantly. Like, look at this. This is all year basically of 2025. Price has just been constantly going up. And you guys got to understand, we're in a new era. The AI era was not in 2010, 2018, 2001, 2005. So you can't say like, oh, the market's gonna correct itself, retrace itself. We are in the AI era now. So you can't compare AI era to no AI era, basically, to the regular economy 10 years ago. You can't compare that. We're in two different, completely different eras. So that means you got to look at indices. You got to look at it from a different perspective. And you got to understand, yes, technicals is definitely 110% right, but you got to not assume that there's going to be some major big correction unless something does happen. Like for example, when, not if, not if, when these things get hacked and like the stock drops or something gets hacked, like the Tesla cars or one of these AI robots or like everything gets hacked at one point in time, that's going to be that day or that period or that few days or whatever the case may be when the market comes down, when the market has that crazy drop down, like how Bitcoin did. Like when that happens, it gets hacked, this is going to happen. Like it's just common sense. Then is this is gonna happen. Everything's gonna get hacked. It may retrace a significant amount, whatever the case may be. May even have a bigger correction. Who knows? And then after, okay, it's back on track and X, Y, and Z, then the market is gonna go back up. That's when we're gonna really start seeing those big drops from there. But I'm telling you guys this so you guys know what type time is gonna be on for the if you trade indices. Like it's not just with Nas, it's with SPX and it's with US 30 as well. If you trade these like indices, if you're trading in this, not even that, if you're somebody who trades stocks, if you trade like stocks, like if you just trade Tesla or if you just trade this, if you do options and all this type of stuff, this was the long-term play. Not only just with Nas and indices, with gold, with things like gold and things like cryptos as well. This is the same, especially cryptos, because think about it. Cryptos are basically like the digital AI, essentially, right? Like it's not necessarily AI, but it's digital currency. And that's what they're gravitating everything towards, more digital, more every like ditching the dollar and let's have our own currency, all linked to blockchain and everybody you can buy everything in Bitcoin. You don't even need your wallet no more and X, Y, and Z. Because think about it, that's what they have all these palm readers and these chips and stuff like that. Why do you need a credit card? Or a debit card or cash when all you gotta do is just scan your palm. And what makes it more convenient, and it's like just using common sense, what will make it more convenient and allow more people to do it? What if we link this with like cryptos and stuff like that? Like you can pay with your Bitcoin. You can pay with your, Ethereum. You can pay with your XRP. You can pay with this in your Palm, instead of having cash. You have much more options to do, so it seems more appealing. So simple as that. So that's what that's gravitating towards. And I say all of this to show you guys the market. This is why I tell you guys this is the best time to be a trader. Everything that I said is to correlate to all of you guys being on the markets locked in. This is the best time to lock in. You're not too late. Don't ever think you're too late. Don't, oh, because gold shot up and let's say you weren't able to capitalize off of all of this or whatever the case may be. You weren't able to capitalize off of this or capitalize off of that or no, this, sorry. If you weren't able to capitalize, I'm on a daily time frame. That's why I thought I was on like a 4 hour time frame. But if you weren't able to capitalize off of this, oh, you missed out, it's too late, prices retracing, it's over for you. Bro, this is just the beginning. They're talking about gold getting to $5,000. Not $5,000. 5,000 an ounce, right? They're talking to gold getting to 5K. We're at 4,000, bro. Gold when it started this rally, it wasn't at 3,000. It wasn't at 3,000. No. It was at 3,300 and prices at 4,000. So this big rally, if we just clone this leg, and let's say obviously this if FOMC and everything, if price does continue this leg right here, great. But let's just say for example, this leg was cloned. If we clone this leg, look where this lines up with. I mean, you can't make it up. Like, I mean, I'm not making this up. Like this, I'm not using AI. This is actually Seer. This isn't AI generated. This is no Sora AI. This is me. All I did was just draw a line and just copy and paste it. What did this line up with? To the T. Basically to the T. It's basically there at 5,000 flat. There's two completely different sides to this. Like as us and as me as a trader and as you guys as like traders, what I'm saying and to me it's exciting. Like it's because it shows for one, like all biblically, it just shows how closer we are getting to those end times. So that's something to rejoice about. Well, not those end times, we are in the end times, but we're getting closer and closer to the day, Christ comes back. But as traders, we get excited. It's like, yo, like we're in a beautiful market conditions, AIs, X, Y, and Z. We know this is the thing. For us, this is a good thing. But the other side of the spectrum, the rest of the world, this is the most terrible and most fearful thing to them, right? Because AIs are going to be replacing all of their jobs. So when you understand that and see which side of the, I don't know what the word spectrum, see which side that you're on, you thank God a lot more. You thank God that you're on this side and not on that side. The people that are on that side, they don't even know about trading because the Bible does say God will give them over to a strong delusion. So people would be so focused on the worldly stuff, the chaos and their sins and like just it is what it is because it says that in the end times like people would just be doing their regular thing and how people would be and they will never come into trading. Like you don't everybody knows about the stock market. Like they talk about stocks crashing and stuff like that. And the way that the social media, not just social media, but the way that society, and it's so funny, like this is a quick testimony, right? Before I end this off, because I know I was just ranting for a little bit. But I was talking to a guy and it showed me how much what society pushes out. Like as traders, and you guys could probably relate to this or understand this. Just as a whole, as a society, they paint trading as this gambling thing where the stock market crashes and it's so many, they always put so much emphasis on like what happened with Bitcoin. Why did they make such a big deal about the drop on Bitcoin? And they were talking about people, deleting themselves and taking themselves out the game, and all people lost X, Y, and Z millions and millions of dollars, right? People was talking all about this drop right here on Bitcoin, but why wasn't this entire rally talked about? People was talking about this little bit of a drop in Bitcoin right here. This thing made news. Everybody was talking about that. Like I said, even my dad said something about it. What? All of this just off of this. But why was nobody talking about this rally up in 2025? Why was nobody talking about this? You want to know why? Because while this was going on, there was a big distraction. I forgot. I know it was something that was going on around April time. I don't remember exactly what it was. But while this rally was happening, there was a big distraction that was going on in place. So nobody was focusing on this. Nobody cared about this. The distraction was going on. So the people were, running it up, making their bag. Nobody was focused on this. And then this happened. Now everybody focusing on that. It's like it didn't even do nothing compared to this big move up. Back to what I was saying, like as a whole thing, they paint cryptos and like trading as like only the rich trade. Like you only make money if you have a lot of money. Like only the rich and wealthy people are the ones trading, the Wall Street people and all that. Those are the only ones making money. It's a whole bunch of numbers. They paint it as such crazy thing, right? And I say this testimony and it just shows how this is what the world really paints it as. I was working out, right? And this guy, he came up to me. He asked me, he was like, "Yo, how often like do you work out?" And I said, "Every day." And he was like, "Yeah, because I see like, you out here every day." And I say, "Yeah, I work out almost every day except for Saturday because that's the Sabbath." But I work out every day. And he was like, "Yo, what do you do for work? Like, what do you do for work?" And I said, "Day trader." He thought I said day trainer. He was like, "That makes sense. Like an actual trainer, like I train people." He thought I was talking about like training people. I said, "Nah, like I'm an actual like day trader. Like I trade like, gold, indices, that type of stuff like that." And when I tell you the look on his face was like utter shock. He was like, "What?" And the reason why, because he was like, "Yo, that is so rare because you never see, for one, somebody of my skin color, for that's just being like real. But he's like, like you never see somebody like of your skin color and then like who you are. Like they paint it as like this white collar type of a thing, and only the richest and wealthiest. But it's like you're just like you. Like you don't come off as somebody who's like suit and tie and like you're just you. And I told him like, no, this is me. Like you guys see me on this call. I coming up on this call with a suit and tie. I throw in a hoodie. I am who I am. Like I don't need to put on a suit and tie or look fancy or none of that type of stuff. For what? Who cares? I'm me, I'm myself. I talk the way that I talk. Like you guys say, I talk with my language. I don't like try to talk proper or use big words or none of that. I mean, I don't care about none of that. I'm me. I'm me. He was like, yo, to see something like that, to see somebody like your age, see somebody like young, like who you are and what you're doing and how you're doing it, and the fact that you're able to do this, like, wow. And that inspired him. And I kid you not, he said, yo, I'm going home tonight and I'm literally studying this because it's rare. I didn't know that was like, you never see anybody doing that. And that's just what the world promotes. They promotes that fear. You shouldn't trade. Trading is gambling. You won't be successful, and only the top dogs do it. And you got to have insider information, and you got to have certain type of equipment. You got to be working for a hedge fund to actually really make some money, and all this stupid stuff, right? All of that stuff. I'm just super grateful because when I got into trading, I wasn't swayed away by that stuff because God put trading in my life for one, and then for two, I didn't grow up in that type of environment. I grew up in a go to college, get a degree, 9 to 5 type of a thing like that. And I was playing video games all the time. So I wasn't in like I didn't grow up in like a bunch of news and trading is scary, stock market crash. And I was a kid. I was a kid being a kid. Like I wasn't in all the outside stuff. So when I got into trading, I'm grateful. And like even with the whole nobody talks about MLMs now. I don't even think those are a thing now. But like even with the MLMs, I got into trading before a MLM approached me. An MLM definitely approached me, multiple of them, but I was already in trading. Like I didn't like I was like, yo, study this X, Y, and Z. And then once they approached me, I'm like, but it's not how you trade. Like I know I'm not sweet, but I know I've just been doing this for a couple of weeks or a month, but it's not how you trade. I'm not stupid. Like this is a business that you market in this. Like I gotta pay you $100 and I gotta sign up a bunch of people and you guys give me signals, man, forget your signals. I want to know how to trade. And literally, like I told you guys, I decided to drop out of college in April. It was like April 20th or something. That was the day that I went to my dorm and locked in. And we got out of school like 2, 3 weeks later, like May 3rd or something like it was only like a Sunday. So within that week's time frame, when I tell you I dedicated every single day, it was to the point where I was like spending more time, hours, hours. I stopped going out, X, Y, and Z. I would literally in class, I was studying the charts. Every single night, every single day, I stopped talking to people, I stopped hitting people up. And within that week time frame, I learned so much about trading. And I still have my notebook. It's somewhere in my storage container. But I learned so much about that in that 1 week that I didn't know about all that. So once I actually started what I shouldn't have did, but once I actually started talking about it and telling people about trading, that's when they started introducing, that's when I started learning that, oh, wait a minute, what? That's when people started telling me, oh, trading, that's gambling and X, Y, and Z, and you shouldn't do this, and oh, only X, Y, and Z people do it. Like, oh, you that little trading thing, like you're not gonna be successful with it. Yeah, I heard about it. I had a buddy. Yeah, I had a buddy who did it, and he lost all his money. Or I had a buddy, and they like people just started pushing fear into me. I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And I'm grateful. Like I give all the praises to the Most High. This is why I say a lot of time, keep quiet, lock in, do your thing, keep quiet, let your results show, not your mouth, because it talks about this in Proverbs. The wicked are always just talking about their mouth. They don't let no results like show. They're always just talking with their feet, talking with their mouth. They just run their mouth too much. They can't be quiet. I forgot the exact word that it says, like you don't think before you speak. The Bible tells us be slow to speak, slow to wrath. Like hold your tongue. Don't say those certain things, right? It even talks about it in Revelation. I forgot what it was, but they were saying something. It was one of the visions. They were saying something, and he was gonna write it down. And he heard a voice. He said, "No, no, 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 no. What you heard is just for your eyes and just for your ears. Don't write this down." But it was other things he told him to write down. But it was just this specific thing. Don't write this one down. So he didn't write it down, so he kept that just for himself, and that's why I learned that, it's best to keep a lot of things to yourself and just lock in and just do you. But yeah, like I got into it, then I started hearing about that, but in my mind, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And then on top of that, God gave me wisdom because that's what I asked for, and then I started to see that every last one of those people that pushed fear into me was either somebody who tried to get into trading or tried to get into investing and they ended up losing a bunch of money, or people that heard it from somebody else and that hearing it from them just pushed fear in them. So they just pushed it onto people. That's literally, I'm like, yo, not a single one of you guys who's telling me this are actually traders making money. So why would I listen to you? That was just like I didn't tell that to them, but that was in my mind, so I didn't really let that get to me from that aspect of things. So I say that all that to keep in mind. Don't let like the outside world try to push fear to get you away from it. Like that's all Satan is doing, just trying to use people to make you seem afraid of the market and X, Y, and Z. Nah, man. God said He gonna give us the power to obtain wealth. This is our power right here. If you were a trader, this is your blessing. This is literally the only job that you really need. Obviously, we can all do everything else that we want to add to it, but literally, this is all you need. You can be a trader and just do you. Isn't that the best blessing to ask for? You don't got to go clock into no job. You could have a month where you get to the point where you make 50,000 in 1 month or 100,000 in 1 month, and you don't want to trade for the next 3 months. And you just want to take your family on a vacation somewhere on this island for the next 3 months. And you don't even need to spend $100,000. You spend maybe 5,000, 10,000, or whatever the case may, however much it is, and you just want to go away for 3 months and just go live your life and just be you and just be secluded for 3 months. You don't got to post on social media to, X, Y, and Z. You could just go ghost and just do you. Isn't that a blessing? Isn't that what we all want? That's why God gave us the power to obtain this.